So I'm from France, in the border of Switzerland and Germany, and I moved to America at the age of 22 years old to Washington, D.C. to be a hairstylist as well. Even if most clients asked me what I was doing in France before I came here, it was a funny question to me. You have one job, your passion. You're, of course, a hairstylist before because you are a hairstylist now. But I learned in America you can become different job opportunities. That's why we're here. But anyway, so I came in America in Washington, D.C., and I've been here since 27 years now.
Wow.
And then I have my own shop since 10 years and always in Washington, D.C. I was very, very happy and lucky to be in Washington for my work career. It was really amazing.
So what was your training like in France?
So my training in France, I have 5 years of school. You know, you go to school and for maybe 3 weeks in the salon and 1 week in the school, and you do program like. So the minimum you have to do, it's at least 3 years. And then the 4th years, if you want to be owner of a shop, and the 5th years, if you want to be teaching hair. So that's what it takes, you know, and you start when you're 16 because they know you manual and you need to get into the environment of working with your hand. So that's the program you do. It's very nice.
Yeah, to get all that hands-on experience so early.
Very much so. The contact with the client was always the hardest part. You know, they scare you. You don't know how, you know, the contact with clients, it's always scary at the beginning. So you get used to it. You realize what they need, how they approach you, how you have to approach them, that guideline, you know, to be respectful. And it was very good to be in salon hand-on, that's for sure.
I can imagine.
Different personality for so many different clients.
Can you talk about your journey moving to the US before you were even fluent in English?
My English and I was not really good, as you can see. School was not my favorite thing. I couldn't focus, so what I want to do is be outside. So if a bird was going by the window, I was flying with the bird. But I always dreamed to be a flight attendant or journalist to see the world. I was always curious to get out and see the world. I'm from a very small town in France, in a small village with 250 people at the time, so quite small. But we knew everybody. It was sweet to grow up there. And totally by chance, I went to the hair show in Paris, and in the program, there was a little brochure saying, you know, look for French people to go to America. And I kind of took the paper as a joke, like, oh my God, you know. And my friend who was with me says, stop it, just keep walking. But I still grabbed the paper. And I share this with my sister, who was 1 year older and very mature and the good one, the steady one. And she says, you always wanted to go. This is you, it's your story, you got to go. And I'm like, I don't want to live in America. I just want to travel there and cross country on a motorcycle and buy a pair of cowboy boots. That I want to, and I realized this I could never do. I didn't have the money for it. So I just kept the paper preciously and then talked to my best friend about it. Another lady who worked with me, who worked same village than me, same town. And she said, you should call. So then I called. I just wanted to see, I was curious. The next thing I know, the program asked my name for me and my friend. And I said, no, we don't come. We're not coming. We just want to know. And they keep saying, what's your name? And I said, no, I don't have a name. I'm not coming. But next thing I know, he's like, listen, what's your name? I say Isabelle and Karine. And he says, well, we have a meeting in 2 days. If you want to go in Paris, meet us in Paris. And I explained to you the program to go to America. And next thing I know, we took a train behind my parents' back, of course, and went to the meeting. I had my big sister with me, so she's, you know, I felt like I was not doing something bad. And it was, I saw the girl with a baseball hat. She just came back from the program, 18 months in America. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I'm going. Don't know why, don't know how. So I had to announce my parents I was going there. That was not very easy for my father. But I said I'll be back. And I always planned to open a salon in my grandma's farm, to make it like a salon with a saloon, you know, where you get your hair cut, but in the meantime you're waiting, so may as well shoot pool or have a drink. I mean, it was just like the America, who knows what, because I never been in America before, but I had that visual of being the cool music and the good ambience. And so I told my father, when do you plan to buy grandma's farm? And he said, I don't know, maybe 3, 5 years. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to America. Of course, 6 months later, he bought the farm very quickly. He wanted me back. But anyway, I arrived in America. It was Washington, D.C. I didn't know exactly where I was going, and ended up to be in the capital with all the politicians. And you know, I find myself working with the best salon. After this first experience, I left for working in a very, very good salon in DC to get the challenge, because I wanted to challenge.
Yeah.
I like to challenge myself. It just make me feel like you're going to fail, so you should try it. And when you don't fail, you feel very proud of yourself. But you also learn so much from others who are better than you are, so it's very good to challenge yourself. And that salon, Christophe, was the person who introduced me to Mrs. Clinton, and here start my 20, I guess, 23 years with Mrs. Clinton. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. My boss told me at the time, Christophe, when he was my boss, he says, you need to be to take care of her. It's so much work. It's too tiring. I've been doing it for 6 months. I'm exhausted. I'm like, okay, 23 years later on my own. But yeah, it was a dream. I never dreamed of something like this, but it was definitely the American dream.
Yeah, really.
It was very lucky to come across with people like this who show me the world. And I was always wanted to travel, so be able to do my passion and travel with them on the road. I was in heaven. It was just like, wow, this is it, you know. So that's how it works. But and then I never left. It was an 18 months program. I never left. I applied for my green card and I got it. And then I worked, and then I applied for American citizen. I got it, and I work. And it's been a long time, 27 years.
Can you talk about your experience working with such an important person like Mrs. Clinton?
Well, it's she actually had made a very beautiful documentary last year called Hilary, and you can see that on Hulu. We really show what was the life in the backstage and all of this. Yeah. So he allowed me to be a little bit more open about it, but for professional respect on the client, it was always a very difficult spot for me to share beauty of experience and incredible life, but without fill up the noisy people who just want trash talk. It was always very a fine line. To me, coming from a very humble family, I always look at them as a human being, like I don't want to say a mom, but like a very, or like a mom, but she's younger than my mom. So, but I always looked at her like a woman I want to protect, because I think she was exposed to such a strong wind. And not many women went out there to get that wind in the face, and she did it for so many years. I think the documentary is quite a beautiful piece. I get the chance to know her personally, and I think she was, for people who get the chance to see it, they were going to realize the other side of her was such a beautiful person. You know,
definitely. Well,
politics limited you and make you be sometimes more guard and a little bit more restrained. So
yeah, definitely.
But I thank her because of her I saw the world. I traveled around the world like I always dreamed. So, and I traveled America, up, down, left, right, everything. Quite amazing. Quite a difference between the coast and the middle of the country.
Yeah, huge.
Two breaks. Yeah, but it was very, very, very great. Very tiring. You work hours and hours of work. You don't sleep. It was crazy. I never knew I could be with so little bit of sleeping and be okay. But you do it. Yeah, she does it, so you do it. You know what I mean? You get inspired by your leader. This is actually your documentary is quite amazing because you need to have a leader, and not everybody has that gift. But you do need leader. A lot of people don't know what to do. A lot of people do this. They need somebody to tell them where we're going. But it's it's the truth. It's not their fault, but that's why you got the team and you get the leader.
Yeah.
Voilà. She was
like
she was my she is my hero.
sounds like she's your mentor and kind of your role model. Did you have an inspiration when you first set out to America or wanted to become a hairstylist and open your own salon?
Yeah. Well, I never thought I would do it here, but I kind of always visual salon. So when time came, I was ready to have my own little thing, not for the pretentious of owning something, but always felt like it was what I want to do. I want to be able to put flower here if I want to change the floor. I don't think it's pretty. I wanted to, my way. So having my own shop was always a visual thing, something I want to do, but I was far away to know also what it takes to run a salon and the business part of it, and the coaching and the personality and all of that you learn as you go, and it's not the best part of it.
Definitely.
You have to build yourself a very beautiful team because it's difficult otherwise.
What initially made you want to become a hairstylist when you were a teenager?
I was panicked. I was maybe 14 and a half years old, and I was panicking because I didn't know yet what I want to be. And I felt like something wrong with me. I'm not sure yet what I want to do. It's wrong, whatever. But I was very artistic. So I had my mom was making my clothes because it was cheaper. And I would design with her the clothes, where to put the sticker to make it look like it was from a store, not from homemade. And I would also sew for my little dolls. So I was always with her doing handy stuff like that. And one year at Christmas, they give me for a Christmas gift. It's this kind of a head that you suck up on the table, and makeup, and you can style the hair. And the first thing I did is cut the whole thing. And oh man, I'm going to get in trouble. But instead of put me in trouble, my mom says, you did a great job. And I realized I don't like to do that. So I started to cut hair. My sister, she will have to go to the emergency because really the haircut was so bad. She won't go to school. Oh my God, she cried. But anyway, I would take my neighbor. I would go with my father in a hair salon, and I will stand at the people cutting hair and try to memorize all the movements. And then I would go home and grab my neighbor, Laurence. She was always a sweet person. And I said, don't move. I'm going to cut it this way, that way. Dress, take picture. So it was something very natural to me. So it was a whole hair stylist or designer with clothes. A lot of people who applied to design in my part of the France, the northeast part was a blue collar. They all end up to design car seat at Peugeot factory. So I was like, I am not going there. I was yet able to get in a school where they only get 13 people a year, and I was in, but I turned it down to do a hairstylist.
Wow.
And my mom says there's a wonderful guys in village. You need to, if you work with him only, I will allow you to be a hairstylist. So I got a job where he was, and he was so giving. He was so passionate about his work, and he was so happy to give. And I was so thirsty to learn that we teamed up very well. His name was Leandro. And Leandro teach me so much, and I owe him so much because of him. But when somebody wants to give, when the other one wants to get, so it was a beautiful match. And we're still very good friends. When I go home, I always go see my Leandro because, and that was it. And then I did all my class, my years there. And then Next thing I know, I was off for, as soon as I get on my license for France, I was in the plane coming here.
Wow.
And I really thought I was coming for, the program was 18 months, but I really thought if I come 6 months is good enough. I can break the contract, go home. 6 months is great, right?
Oh my gosh.
6 months, you can't, because you barely speak English after 6 months. You finally know where is the food or where is you get set up. So I said, I'm not, now I'm staying 18 months. And then 18 months came and I was not ready to leave. I haven't yet ride my motorcycle. So I decided to do the green card and then stay. And I got very lucky. I get clients who guide me to the right lawyer. And I always felt like the stars behind my shoulder. So I ride this, that wave I had, and it take me to where I am now. It was very lucky. Work-wise in DC was very, very good for me.
Wow.
I'm good father. Long time, there's a lot of long-term clients like your parents. It's just great.
Yeah. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurial girls who aren't from the US or English is their second language like you?
Well, I did took some class, I took some English class when I could, but truly being in the business of constantly in a contact with clients, you speaking is 8 hours a day. You with them all day long. Everybody asks you, "Are you okay? Is your family okay? Why are you here? What did you do before?" So you're constantly in conversation. I mean, I have to say, I had a headache, because nobody liked to do more than 2 hours of foreign language class. But it took 6 months. But so I took some class. But truly, for me, being French and doing the hair, it was great because I'm trying to face this. The light doesn't reflect, because people like the French stylist. So I came in with my French savoir-faire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did hair. I was just doing what I do, even if it was not with a perfect accent. But I knew people were there for me to just create. So go ahead, create it. You know what I mean? The first client, I have no idea what she said, no idea what she wanted. People talk to me louder. Still don't understand. They talk slowlier. Still don't know what it said. It was like, okay, it's loud, it's slow, but I still don't get it. So it was not at the beginning. It was very. It was a game. Let's just hope. But pictures, you can use pictures, but you use who you are and what you came with, and that's your talent. That's why you're here. So bring you from your own culture, your own passion. Just be proud of that instead of trying to match, the American. But the language, take some class. It's easy now.
Wow. Well, practice makes perfect. That must have been tough. I'm sure you have some funny stories.
A lot of visual language.
Yeah, sign language. What's been the most difficult or disappointing part for you throughout your entire career and opening your own salon?
I think the biggest thing is then the business take you away from your passion. Because being a businesswoman, it's not being a hairstylist. It's two jobs in one, and I'm better and I like better doing hair than doing the business part. So that's the part where you divide yourself in two things. You're working your client, but you're also aware of everything's going on around you. You have to be able to multitask. I think this and managing personality, it's maybe the hardest thing. Not the client, but the team, the personality.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's a typical. You hear that before, but it's true. You get people who are problem solver. You get the one who always like to steer up the problem. You start to know your people after a while. Right now, I have a beautiful team, but you start to understand who does what and how to. I think the key is to, if you have a problem, it's to talk personally to that person and then fix the problem right away before it become a bigger problem, or it start to stain on other stylists or other employee. Make it sad, make it. I was always amazed by Mrs. Clinton. If any issue will come to her, she will not talk about it and be gossip about it. She will just think about it, fix it, make a decision, fix it, and move on to the next thing. That was always very clean with her, and I think that was great. But that's how I feel like that's the biggest thing. The biggest disappointment is to have to share your being a hairstylist and become more of a business person.
So how do you do both at once and face the tough times?
I surround myself with people. I know I'm not capable. I don't want mess. I hate mess or being off. So I surround myself with bookkeeper, with accountant, management. You do have to surround yourself with people where everybody have his little job, and make you be less and less on your plate. I think that's the way to do it.
That's great advice.
Yeah, and also it's good to have few people looking after the money, just to be sure nothing go wrong.
Definitely. On the flip side, what has been the most rewarding part of owning your own salon?
I guess when some of my employee, and usually it's the assistant, the one who will never grow, the wonderful assistant who does the shampoo, and their gratitude toward me, I think that's make me feel like, I always feel like so tear up when they always say thank you for the job opportunity, or thank you for be able to have them have their green card, thank you for make them grow. And I realized that's cool. I was able to give them a life, in the job for 10 years so far, and help them to get better. Or some people never guide them right before me, and I felt like that was wrong, especially a woman who have to manage their life, their work, the children, the house. And I felt like you feel taller and stronger, and those people need help. And I think the best part is to be able to reach out to them and show them, guide them to the exit who's going to make them also taller and stronger. And I think you do it normally, because to me it's normal to do that, but when they tell you thank you and appreciative and you watch them grow, I think this is nice. I guess be able to say I'm still there after 10 years, on my own, grow the business, the number where I bought it, it's now much bigger. That's also a reward, because, again, you dive in and you don't know. Yeah. And now some of the top salon in DC, and I did it because I want to treat my clients right. I want to be one of the top, because I want them to feel like they deserve to be served this way. And I'm glad I was able to do that to them, for them to recognize that we are worth something. But it's more for other people than it is for me. That's how I see it. Wow. I like people.
I can tell.
That's because in success, Isabelle, in success is whatever you do, how good you are. 50% of how good you do your job, but it's also 50% is your personality. Yeah. Because you don't, when I did my first job as an assistant in a salon, there was a girl there. She knew how to do everything, color, perm, everything. And I didn't know how to do zero. I have no idea. And I'm like, I'm cooked, we both here for the job. We both on a try for one day. She does it all. I don't know anything. I'm so cooked. But I was so happy to be at work, and I smile at everybody. And everybody say, who is that little girl who smile all the time? So that's Isabelle. Next thing I know, I got the job. And I'm thinking, why me? I don't know anything. But it was the personality. The other girl was never smiling. I don't know what it was. It was just like, maybe it was talented, but they have no contact with the client. You have to have contact with your client. if you're in a service industry, you have to like people, otherwise you may as well do something else.
Yeah.
We see a lot of that out there. It's just a change work. Do something will work for you. Because you
Right.
have to do what you love. That's one of the key. Number one key is you have to do what you love. Because if you do what you love, you will do it well.
Definitely.
That's it.
Well, that is super important to remember.
Yeah, it's natural. It's organic. It's logical. But I feel sorry for the one who don't have a passion, because passion is what makes you keep going, give you the creativity, the willing, the love, the energy. Because you have to have energy. You have to be creative. You have to love. I don't know. You have to be able to listen to conversation or fill up the conversation or help the people. Other people sit in your chair, they need the help. And you have to be able to naturally wants to do that.
Definitely.
Mm.
What do you think is the most important first step in starting a company?
To be well advised by other people who had business. I think it's very worth to study, business plan. I remember when I started, people told me a business plan, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, what are they talking about? But, people will help you out to understand what kind of product you're going to do, for what kind of people who are living around, what kind of income there is, what's really the need for it. So you need to get guided by people who understand business. But if you do what you like and do it by love, you can only succeed, I think. If you love making great cake, people are going to love your cake too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You just have to feel the vibe and the passion. Passion is important.
Couldn't agree more. What do you think are the top three skills a girl needs to be a successful entrepreneur?
To be disciplined, to be very disciplined, because I realized I was never good being a boss. Like, I expect people to be just like me, like, come on, they're going to see this need to be done, or they don't. And you get frustrated, and you're scared to say something because they get upset, blah, blah, blah. But if you set the tone, or you say what you're looking for right away, and if something don't do well, just tell them nicely, but tell them right away, this is not the way we're doing it. It has to be done this way. You will gain more respect from that person or from the rest of the team. So I think the discipline is important, to be a leadership, and also I think to make feel, if it's not a 5,000 people company, but with 25, but to make feel like everybody have his own little position, to make them feel like they're part of it. You good at ordering product, you do that. You good at designing the window, so you do that. Just help to use them as be part of the creativity and take pride of the location for all of us. I think we all have something we can bring to. So discipline, partnership. What did I came up with? I thought, yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I put it.
Well, those are both great.
Yeah, I mean, this is, and I think professionalism. If you want to add up a third one, it's to be professional. That will always save you. Right?
Yeah.
Always say yes.
That's a great point.
Oh, yeah, sure. Anytime, there, 3 in the morning, sure. Sunday, yes. Canceling my visit to you, yes, I will. That was a lot, but
I can imagine.
it was not hard for me, because I feel like that was more important and that was the right thing to do. My parents make me a workaholic.
Well, it's a good thing you stayed loyal. That's important.
Yeah, that's a good word, actually. Being loyal is that's a very important word. I think in this, you can add this up. That was from you, but being loyal to a client, or can be loyal to what you believe. I think it's a very, very, very good thing.
Yeah.
Very good way to see things and do things.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds
So,
like that's how you built your business. So kudos to you. So how do you address diversity in your workplace?
so I guess try to understand the question, like how do you do diversity? Like, uh, so we in the hairstylist business, you get a lot of people from overseas,
Yeah.
right? Got a lot of people from Turkey, France, England, Greece. I mean, you get a mixed. I think I have more women than men those days. It was not always that way, but I feel like right now more, and I like it. The woman, the guys I have are great, but the woman feel like it's less challenging to be having a woman boss when you're a woman instead of having a
Right.
woman boss. And sadly, it's not always easy.
Yeah.
So, but that's people from South America, from people from Vietnam. I love Vietnam, and all that melting pot. We all came from somewhere, and to me, they said they need me, but I need them too. Without them, I have no team. So we all a position and then a job to fill up. So it's like a family business. I like it this way.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you were witness to a lot of gender discrimination, especially on the campaign with Mrs. Clinton. So how have you faced the gender gap in the hair space and the entrepreneurial space in general?
Um, you mean like how difficult? You mean because it's a woman to be a woman, or the differences being a woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really saw that during the first campaign with her. I felt like Obama had full speaker and everything, and then when it was her time to get on stage, it's almost like they were doing everything. Like, go ahead in acoustic, you'll be fine. And I'm like, you didn't even talk. Like, where are they? It was definitely. I feel like it was. You have to make more noise to be listen, and then you cannot be too sexy because this doesn't come across right. But then you have to be just right enough to be able to be appealing to listen. It's always that line of why everything is just so, but it is, and I don't know what it is. So yes, the biggest the biggest mistake I done is having a partnership with somebody and who was totally stealing from me. And when I realized this, I had to separate the business, buy myself out from him. And I'm sure a lot of people related to those partnership bad story, because you in your mind don't think people will try to steal you, because you will never try to steal somebody else. And that was the biggest mistake on my business. But the whole time, that person wanted one thing is me to fail, because they think I couldn't do my job. I couldn't run this business. I was the woman. How could I run the business? Well, guess what? We did the shop. We make the money so much bigger than it was, and I have a big team, and I make the most money on my own without him. So that was the biggest revenge. I was not trying to be a revenge, but I realized he was trying very hard to tell everybody. And it's easy to make the woman look weak. Better, but guess what? I proved them the opposite. I have to fight. I have to double work to be sure, because he was so. I know he would be so happy if I fell, but 10 years later, here we are, and I know if I would be a man, he would not have been so trying to take me down.
Yeah. Well, good
So,
for you and all of your success. If you could travel back in time to when you founded your salon and give yourself a piece of advice, what would you say?
I really think the partnership.
Yeah.
Be on your own. Be on your own and do something you really love. then you can only be successful if you and if you do what you love, and like surround yourself with young person, because they have some different eyes in the business those days, especially with social media and all of this. um, don't be afraid to hire or deal and talk with people and get everybody what they're good at to help you out, in a team or outside the team. But if you can be your own boss, don't
Yeah.
partner.
When you have a big accomplishment or reach a goal, how do you celebrate?
I put my helmet and go on a nice long motorcycle ride.
That sounds
I'm
amazing.
not go out and drink. I can't even handle drink. I'll have a little one. I'm a cheap date. I get me goofy ride. But I wake up early and go on a long ride, adventure ride. I ride India, Jordan, Vietnam a few times. I rode Europe this summer. I I ride everywhere I could. I ride, and I like that. That's for me the most grateful gift of everything. The unknown, adventure, freedom, the air,
Yeah.
and you can enjoy the ride.
Okay,
So
this is a bonus question.
yeah.
What is your favorite word, French or English?
so so
Oh.
so when you somebody has the right soul, you know what I mean? It says a lot.
That's
Yeah.
so
To
cool.
find people with the right soul, that's what you need.
How do you say
Yeah.
soul in French?
La soul, you soul. I think
Yeah.
it's the same. L'esprit, the spirit. The
Oh, yeah.
spirit. Yeah, spirit. Now I'm mixed up. 27 years, I don't speak French anymore. L'esprit is a spirit, but soul, that's to me what's very important. People don't have soul, may as well don't have heart. Huh?
Exactly.
Because, voilà. And freedom. If I
Yeah,
can put two,
definitely.
whatever. And that's where I'm pleased. And I grew up in Europe. It's so easy to get greedy in America because you have so much opportunity to make money. But the important part is to balance, to don't over want or overspend. Then you're constantly chasing more work because you never have enough. And I think finding the right balance to have enough to have a good life and still take time for your personal life. Don't get sucked in and don't work until you're 80 and don't work 17 hours. I think it's such a DC thing, and I think people don't realize how not happy inside they are. You know, that's
Definitely.
just I spend so much time telling clients, you did it. You have 3 homes, you have a company, you did it. Stop it. You know. And
Yeah.
I think that virus make people hear more French. Good about personal life, good for money, bad.
Can you share a funny story from your career?
I used to say, you know, the motorhead. I lost the motorhead. I missed the motorhead. And everybody's like, what is she talking about? I'm like, the motorhead. Where's the motorhead? And it was like, oh, the motorhead. You know, it was like for the car. Nobody understood my motorhead. Motorhead. I mean, they look at and this never left me. They always call me the motorhead over there at the White House. So yeah, there is some English sometime. It will, maybe something will come back to me when I ring up with you, and I will think of it. But I'm sure I did say many things like spinach and Spanish for a long time. I say I don't like Spanish instead of saying yes,
Oh no.
English. Or when we start working, we say, "Is the water is hot enough?" And they say, "What is the water is hot enough?" And then people say, "What?" And then we'll say, "Is the water hot enough?" And we'll roll it in. because people say you have to roll it in, and people say, no, it's fine, yeah, this is good. And I'm like, we look at each other and thinking, oh my God, we didn't say one syllable well. We didn't pronounce anything. But they understand. Okay. Now it was, I bought a bracelet. It was a very fancy place. And I say, I want to see that bracelet with the hooker on it. And the woman was like, you mean the hook? I'm like, yeah, that too. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You say a few things like this as you go, you know.
Yeah, you don't even realize.
Dessert. Oh my God, eating the dessert and riding the desert and eating the dessert. I mean, oh yeah, this one is still not good. But short and long, I got it. Layer, I got it.
Exactly. It's all that matters.
No one matter now. So that's about it. No, yeah. If I come up with something, I'll let you know. But
Well, those are all pretty good.
I've been having making everybody laugh a lot during campaign. Secret Service laugh and roll their eyes, thinking, "Oh my God, boring." You have to laugh. You have to be
Exactly.
difficult. So what up?
Wow. Well, those are all my questions. Do you have any last pieces of advice or anything else you want to add?
Girls can do it just as well. Just be firm. You know, we want to be kind and nursing, but sadly, sometimes you just have to be firm.
Yeah.
You know, with a smile and welcome and listening. Listening is good, but when it's time to be firm, you get more respect by applying the rules and firmity. And that's all what I have. Yeah, that was my biggest, I think, suggestion for somebody who wants to do that.
Definitely.
And creativity and passion, you will make your business successful, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have to be smart. You have to, someday you're looking for something and you're like, God, I wish I have. And you're like, this is what you need to make.
Exactly.
And here's your idea. You cannot just be facing the white page looking for an idea. But one day you are doing something, you're like, wow. So creativity, reaction, and go for it. Yeah.
Exactly. I couldn't say it better. Yeah. Thank you. Bisous.
Okay. Merci Isabelle. I see you in San
Au
Francisco. Salut.
Oui.